Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna ball, waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna ball, waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough.
We're good. Listen, there's one thing I know for the introductions. I can cook, Baron can cook, Hugger can cook, Paris can cook.
But Kyle can't cook.
What's going on, people? Family Team here from LV1Gaming.com, and congratulations, you guys leveled up to 249. This is the Double XP podcast. Shout out to you guys for rocking with us once again. Yeti, it's good to see you back, Yeti. Much love to you for rocking with us. Flameser, I see you in the building. Bordy McBoard, who's always either up and hyper or bored. We got a lot to talk about that. We had a great week in gaming. I'm super excited about all that has happened. Before we dive deep, because we got a lot to talk about, we're going with introductions. Back controlling the show again, my right hand, man, the floor hugger with the hardest of ours.
With the hardest of ours. What's up, guys? I'm excited to be back. Paris is back. We just came off the high that was all the showcases, and big props to Dez and Dames for Games. That was amazing to see, even though people were being in the comments. I think we had the most positive comment section going on, and I'm proud of us and I love us, and let's get into it. Let's talk about some stuff today.
Next up, if your emails are popping and your DMs are full, that's because communication director level on game trying to get a hold of you, baby. Fantastic 7, what's going on, Chief?
You know what? I never felt 30s until this past weekend. I'm still recovering, and it's really weird. I'm not used to that. Like, I'm used to being able to just bounce back. Like, oh, let me get 6 hours of sleep and drink a coffee and let's go. I'm tired. I'm still tired, but I'm so happy to be here. I had such a good time. I got to experience stuff thought I would never experience, and got to be in some rooms with some amazing folks, such as Paris here, and it was super cool. I wish there was more marketing outside of the YouTube theater for Summer Games Fest. That's my one thing. I didn't feel like I was at an event until I got in the theater.
You didn't feel like you were at an event? What do you mean?
Yeah. Paris, help me out here. There was no, it didn't feel like we were at a big video game award show outside.
Yeah, you wouldn't know unless you knew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there was no big sign. It wasn't like E3 where they got banners and things everywhere where you knew you were at a gaming conference. It looked like you could have been going to a Rams game or something, or Beyonce concert. You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. There was no, and the picture that you see everybody in front of with the Summer Games Fest on the marquee, that was the only marketing of the Summer Games Fest, was that marquee. Hey, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to make a dumb joke. I was just going to say, I tell you this, though, he sure had enough money to do it, because they might as well had a freaking pistol in a ski mask with the robbery they did for the parking. I paid $45 to park at that place.
Yeah.
$45 to park?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Coming from a guy who's a Cowboy fan with $100 parking.
I just would have took an Uber. But listen, last but not least,
that would have been worse.
That would have been like 60.
Yeah.
Really?
Uber, well, it's LA.
Oh, it's an event, so they jack the prices up.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But
crazy.
yes,
But last but not least, our guest of the evening from Kinda Funny, X-Cast Paris. What's going on, brother?
No, I'm good. Thank you for having me back. It's been a hot minute since I've been on here, but I appreciate the invite. Yeah.
No, for sure, man. I appreciate. I know you're a busy man, with lots of stuff going on. But shout out to the chat. If you guys do me a big favor, hit that like button, share the stream out, let people know we are live. I really appreciate it. Super chat from Mini Yeti says Xbox finally has games. Am I dreaming right now? No, you are awake. Xbox. Listen, in my opinion, I know people think Xbox has always had games.
Sure.
Maybe they wasn't critically acclaimed, and maybe everyone didn't like them, but the games have been there. As much as we would have liked, no. But we know this thing took time. Microsoft knew they had a problem coming into last generation, right? When we think about 360, we think about all the great games 360 had, but so many of those games were third party, right? And of course, we had the Gears was still at its peak. Halo was at its peak. Forza has always been great, always peaking, right? So they were selling those games and they had third party exclusives. You didn't really think about, their first party output is so lackluster because they had games, right? And so when they started the process of buying up these studios, we knew that it would take some time, right? Games don't happen overnight. You're looking at upwards to, 6, 7, sometimes 8 years in between games, depending on the scope of what they're making, right? I know a lot of people were disappointed that Hellblade Senua's Saga is 2024. And you're looking at the game really released in 2017, so you're about 7 years. So that's about what it's going to take to make these big worlds and these big games that you guys are expecting, right? So what's happening is we're in the moment to where Xbox is like, okay, now we can just start, the floodgates can start opening, right? And I do want to go through their game show along with the other one. Shout out to Lady Foxfire building. Old man Logan, I appreciate you, boss man. I do want to start y'all's overall thoughts about the Xbox game show before we really dive deep. In Paris, I guess for the evening, I do want to start with you. Your overall thoughts of what we got from Xbox at this event.
I thought it was great. In my opinion, I think this is, if not the best, for sure one of the best showcases they've done in well over a decade. I really do. And I think it's just a combination of, I thought the presentation was tight. I thought it kept my attention throughout, whether the games appealed to me or not. The information was flowing and it felt good. You got Sarah Bond up there for a minute. You got Phil up there for a minute at the end. And that was it. It was, they presented games and they did a very good job with the presentation. And then obviously that Starfield Direct to end it. I mean, they just knocked it out of the park. I was fully engaged for the entire 2 hours.
You said one thing that I was very happy about. Not that I didn't want to see him, but we didn't get a lot of talking. It was just like,
Get it going.
Here's Sarah Bond. Everyone loves Sarah Bond. It'd be weird if I say they dislike her. And it was just game after game after game after game, and then Phil Spencer, and then more games. Right? That's something I completely did not expect. But Hug, I want to swing to you and get your overall thoughts of what we got from the Xbox Game Showcase.
I'm with Paris. This is they really put their whole foot into these greens. Like they ate. It was good. It was game after game. They didn't do any weird stuff with bringing devs out to talk, because that's not what we were there for. And as we were watching the Starfield Direct, I was like, oh, I see why people are excited for this game. Because I was like, okay, I'm an Elder Scrolls person. They showed me ESO. I was happy. And then I saw Starfield. And now every game is Starfield according to Baron. So I'm impressed with Xbox.
If
really
you got space, it's Starfield.
And nothing was like too far out. Like 2024, nothing was like 2025, 2026. There was a couple. Was that the first Summer Game Fest where they said it's coming when it's coming? But nothing was like super outside of a window where we're like, don't show it to us. Like Metroid Prime that was shown 6 years ago today. We didn't have any games like that. We had tons of games, and all I know is with Game Pass, and shout out to the Iron Lords for just coming in. With Game Pass, we eating,
shout out to the Iron Lords.
We eating.
B, I'm gonna swing it to your overall thoughts of the Xbox Game Showcase.
It was amazing. It wasn't just a good Xbox showcase. It was a good showcase, period. One of the best, followed up by Ubisoft, which was one of the biggest hits from left field. Like, it was super just random. I did not expect to be that excited watching a Ubisoft showcase. But with Xbox, it kept me out of the fact that it was 2 hours long. It didn't feel 2 hours.
Right.
It was hitting all the notes. There was no lulls. And then Starfield. Then to just jump into Starfield. And then I've said it 1.5 million times. I would have been more than okay with Skyrim in space. Like, if it was nothing more than Skyrim in space, I would have been extremely happy with that. No complaints. But to see how the fact that you could board ships, that's what let me know, okay, I lost it. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, it's ah, man, Starfield. Everything is Starfield now. Oh, you can go to space, Starfield. Oh, you can transition out of your planet, Starfield. Oh, you can land anywhere at Starfield. Oh, you can mine resources, Starfield. Like, Starfield has inspired all the games from the last, 100 years.
And to the community, everybody posting a controller today. It's been Starfield hype is real, by the way.
Yes.
It's.
You know how good of a showcase this was?
I hope you get drift. I'm sorry.
Baron and DJ Otaku Fix were hyped about the flight sim, pretty much career mode that they're putting in. And I'm like,
that is
that. And I was like,
no, because for one, I'm scared to even try to boot it up on my computer. But just the idea that they're constantly expanding on this game that's been out for as long as I can remember. I can't think of a time when PC gaming like was around and there wasn't flight sim. Like it, for them to still be advancing it, and then just seeing like, what was it, a couple years ago with the live weather systems, to now you get to live out like full on RP stuff if you wanted to within the simulator. Like I just, and then I just hope that with the growth and success of flight sim, that things from it get pulled and put into other games, like just, you know, like Starfield. No, but I mean,
Yeah.
I can see the inspiration that flight sim had from Starfield. Like, you guys didn't see the way the vehicles and planes were flying, all of that,
No.
those mechanics, you've seen that in Starfield, and is
Everything in
definitely
Starfield. You're
Yeah.
bro.
obsessed.
The
Yeah,
watch,
wink
the
command
watch,
lanes.
the watch you wear. You see the way time is told on it. You know, a lot of people thought it came from, you know, sundials and, you know, our ancestral people, but no, Starfield, and the watch that comes in the Constellation Edition. So yeah, you know, just give credit where credit is due. Flight Sim success is due to Starfield. Thank you.
We will. But listen, to dive a little bit deeper, Xbox showed a lot from first party. They showed a lot of great games, right? We're talking. They started the show with Fable. We got South of Midnight, which South of Midnight, that whole, it was like stop motion style, art style was freaking fantastic, right? They showed some great things. Paris, I want to start with you. If you could pick out now, we're gonna take Starfield out of the equation, right? We're gonna put Starfield over here. Out of all the stuff that they shown, what got you the most excited? And also, if there's anything that you was maybe a little bit disappointed about, if anything.
Okay. What got me excited, and actually called this on XCast when we did our prediction show, and in Exile gave me my flowers too on Twitter. Clockwork Revolution. I was like, we knew they were working on something. What is it that they're working on? And then for them to come out with that, and it's this BioShock Infinite-esque look to it, you know, that steampunk look to it, and obviously there's time manipulation happening in it as well. I'm very intrigued to see what it is, but that is actually one of the games where we were talking about time. They just said, hey, it'll be ready when it's ready. They didn't put any type kind of date or range on that, so that one looks like it's going to be a ways away. But outside of Starfield, that was the one that intrigued me the most. Disappointing, like I wasn't really that disappointed with anything that I saw, other than to say, and I understand why it was in there, but Fallout 76, the update to that, I get it. I get why you would have it in there, just why same as you would have an Elder Scrolls Online update, same as you would have a Sea of Thieves update, even though the Sea of Thieves update, I'm down for that. Monkey Island, yeah, I'll definitely play that, because these are live service games that are ongoing and there's a thriving community in there. So you want to make sure that you're updating that, because, you know, these are things that community is going to want to see. So I get why it was there. But I was like, really? You could have gave time to something else on that one. That would have probably been my only disappointment, was the Fallout 76 update. And the reason why, because it didn't really tell you anything other than, oh, a new location. Okay, when? Now what? We don't know. That was it. It was just kind of a random update to have in there.
Was there anything missing that you, or were you shocked? No. What wasn't there that you were shocked was not there? What shocked? Yeah.
Everwild. And the fact that it wasn't, I'm officially concerned about that game, because, you know, we got a couple update, you know, we've seen it a couple times over the, you know, I think 2019, and then they showed it again a couple years ago, something like that. But we still don't know what it is. Is this some kind of Princess Mononoke type, you know, fantasy adventure? Like, we don't know. I have no idea what this game is. And the fact that we didn't get an update here on what it is to show it off, like running in engine, so we can kind of see, kind of like they just did with Fable, right? Nothing. That concerns me. So that would probably be the one thing that was missing that concerns me. I mean, Perfect Dark not being there, I'm like, okay. And even Matt Booty said later when he was on the Giant Bomb couch, it sounds like we're going to see that next year. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But nothing on Everwild. So that was kind of disappointing.
See, for me, this title behind me, right? This has been my most anticipated game since I finished the first one, right?
Yep.
Almost everything about the first Hellblade, oh my god, about the first Hellblade was perfect to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew the sequel would continue to give us that great atmosphere that the first one had, right? And we're looking at the first game had a smaller budget because this was Ninja Theory. Their entire team wasn't available to work on the game. They had a very small budget, and they made a triple A-esque looking game, right? That was one of the hype things about the original Hellblade. So with this, the one thing that I needed to see, because they needed to evolve, was the combat, right? The story, great. The atmosphere, great. Acting, great. All that stuff is top tier, but the combat in the first Hellblade game was subpar, right?
Yeah.
And I wrote an article about this not too long ago that I needed to see less puzzles. I understood why the most puzzles were in that first game, because you were trying to really hone in on the psychosis and what she's going through. And then you kind of need to fill a lot of the content, right? They needed to stretch some things out. I wanted to see less puzzles, and I wanted to see the combat evolve, because the combat was fairly simplistic in the first game, right? So when it came on screen, I was like, oh, here we go. We've gotten that first look at it a few years ago with the Video Game Awards, and it was a cinematic scene, her running away. Great, you guys showed it. It's real. It's happening. It's being done. Cool. I thought that the showcase would have been a great time to have her pull her sword out. And even if it had been a lot, it just showed us a bit of the combat. That was my most disappointing thing to see. But the best thing I saw was also this. I'm sorry. I'm everything about this I need in my veins immediately, right? And seeing that this game is staying true to what it is, right? And just listening to the sounds of the game, because the sounds and playing this game with headphones is one of the best gaming experiences you can have.
Absolutely.
Right? This was the best and the most disappointing thing of that game showcase. And I just cannot wait to 2024, because it cannot come out fast enough. But B, I'm gonna switch to you. Is there anything that really got? We're gonna take Starfield and put it over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? Fable. That had me extremely hyped, especially when going back and realizing this was in game. That was super dope, because I've only beaten Fable 1. I've only played and completed Fable 1, and that was recently. Fable was a series I skipped over, but for somebody who's only played Fable 1 and how much you can do in the world and how much the world is affected by you, how much you could, I mean, if you wanted to rob a store, you could actually go out for drinks with the store owner and then drunkenly push him out of his store and take items from him. This was in Fable 1. I haven't played Fable 2, I haven't played Fable 3, or that, what was the other one, Legends or whatever.
Fable Legends, it didn't make it out of. It didn't make it out.
There you go. See, I didn't even, none of that. So to now imagine what we're going to be able to do within this new Fable, it's going to be almost like Starfield. And it just, oh man, the way vegetables grow. Well, okay, but I'm gonna tell you what threw me off. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get any more looks at State of Decay 3.
Yes.
But that was just a personal thing. Like I just really wanted State of Decay 3. I truly believed State of Decay 3 won't come out until like 2026, even when they first showed it, because they just showed a trailer, and the trailer looked nothing like any of the other State of Decay games. So I was like,
you didn't think it was State of Decay when you first saw it. You was like, well,
yes. I had no idea what that was, and
it didn't look like a State of Decay game.
Yeah, so in my head, I'm like, maybe they're gonna take a different twist on it. Maybe I hope they don't go first person. Like, I really don't. I hope they keep the same play style. But funny enough, the showcase was so good that the things that I was disappointed that I didn't see didn't even register. Like, I was still so hype, and the flow of it didn't give me enough time to be disappointed. And yeah, so, and then Starfield.
Oh my god.
Of course. Hugs, what about you, sis? You sat there with us. I know I squealed when Hellblade
You
came. I don't know if y'all go back. I squealed when I saw it. Even my wife was like, "I've never heard you make that type of sound before."
The
And I was
only
like,
time I've heard you
my
make that
goodness.
sound was when it was first announced, when we saw the trailer come through. And you literally blew our eardrums out at the Game Awards, and I was like, you need to stop. But
I'm obsessed. What can I say?
you know what? And you have every right to be, because that was an experience. But I was kind of sad we didn't see more Mass Effect, but that was not even planned.
Mass
Or
Effect.
Dragon Age. But that wasn't even planned. For anybody that doesn't remember, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the major games we saw. Fable. We also saw South of Midnight, Star Wars Outlaws, 32 Immortals, which is from the Spiritfarer people, which is 32 co-op, which looked really cool. Payday 3, Persona 3 Reloaded, which looked great. Avowed, which did not look like I thought it was going to look like. Sea of
Okay,
Thieves.
pause right there, Hugger. Pause right there, because I'm with you. Because when I first saw the Avowed gameplay, I thought it was Sea of Thieves. I said, "Oh, here's the Sea of Thieves update," and it took a couple of seconds to the trailer if I realized, "Oh snap, this is not." Was there anybody else?
I thought
Paris?
it was Greedfall.
Did you? Paris probably had the inside knowledge, but did you know Avowed? Did you know Avowed looked? Because I was expecting more of a realistic type world coming from the original teaser trailer we got.
I'm with you on that. I mean, it was a shock to see it look the artistic style that they chose for it, because we remember obviously what the teaser was back in 2020. So this was definitely different. You know, there had obviously been some rumors and things that they had rebooted it at a certain point during development time. I've come to go, all right, it is what it is. This is the artistic style. It's not that it's bad. It's just it is just what you did. It's different than what you first showed us, right? But at the same time, you know what? This is Obsidian, and Obsidian. Look, if you played the Outer Worlds, that was a fantastic RPG. Obviously, go back to Fallout New Vegas, one of the best RPGs ever made. I'm still in. I still want to play this. I still want to, see, what it's going to be. Just looks a little different. We don't know if this was an artistic choice to go this way. Was it a technical choice to go this way? Well, they may never tell us. We'll never know. But yeah, it was a surprise to see it look that way. But ultimately, I mean, I'm still excited to play it next year.
Yes, 100%. And there was also the Sea of Thieves, Flight Sim 20. I think it might be a new game, Baron, because it's given a thing 2024. There was also the Dune expansion.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Dune expansion, Hellblade. We saw Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, which the camera positioning of just
that was
slowly.
Hilarious.
It's like, I love this. We saw the Kitsune-gami, The Path of the Goddess, which is made by Capcom.
That's Capcom.
Forza Motorsport.
They won a Game Pass.
Overwatch 2 Invasion, which is their new PvP stuff. Persona 5 Tactics, which look cute. Starfield, of course. Dzianz, don't know how to say that. Still Wakes the Deep. Dungeons of Hinterberg. We saw the Cyberpunk DLC, Phantom Liberty. City Skylines 2, and Metaphor Re-Fantazo, which kind of looked like...
That's their new RPG, right?
I thought it was going to be Shin Megami. I thought it was going to be another Shin Megami Tensei entry.
And then Tower
have they announced that for other platforms yet? Because when you see this, you see a JRPG, you're going to automatically assume it's going to end up on PlayStation, right? Has there been an announcement of this game on other platforms yet? Because I haven't seen anything, and I just don't feel like Atlas is going to release an exclusive JRPG on Xbox.
I think now there is. I feel like I got a press release yesterday, because remember there was a whole thing. They were making them wait 48 hours before you could say it was on another platform. So yeah, it's going to be on PlayStation.
Gotcha. I'm gonna look that up, because I was shocked when I saw that, and I was like, "There's no way," because it was originally announced for Xbox and PC. But I knew it would come to PS5. I was like, man, it feels secured, a brand new JRPG exclusive from Atlas that'd have been huge for
but they're on Game Pass, though. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yes.
That's the big deal that comes out of that. Yeah.
On the official site, it says now only Xbox and Windows. And I'm on the official
site.
They haven't updated their site yet. Then.
Okay. I'll say this. Like you guys mentioned, the Game Pass edition is more important to me than exclusivity. As a Game Pass member, as somebody who's been Game Pass for a very long time, I do not care if it's exclusive, but give it to me at no extra cost, and I'm sold. And then clearly, people still buy games. I mean, I didn't bought everything for Starfield, like, and I already know I'm probably gonna play it on PC just to be ready for whatever absurd mods come out. Which I'm looking forward to somebody out in the mod community to put the full games of all the other Bethesda games in Starfield. Like, I'm ready to land on a planet and it's Skyrim. I'm ready to land on a planet. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, but this is what I'm saying. I could totally see, and of course it's going to be years down the line. I don't think it's going to be something quick, but you're going to definitely be able to land on a planet, and you're going to land on like whatever mountain in Skyrim and just be able to walk around and experience it as it is an entire game. Somebody's going to do it. It's probably going to take forever, but that's what I'm excited to see. Some randomness so I could play Skyrim again within another game. Within Starfield. Which inspired Skyrim.
When they get that VR support, all we're gonna see Baron do is
full on disappear.
He's done.
Yeah. Link start. No, but yeah.
This is where you want to see and I'm how do I say this because a few things have been whispered. Never mind. Continue.
Too much skirting.
I'll talk to y'all after the show. But
yeah,
continue.
But no, I'm really Game Pass is the main ticket. So anything you can put in Game Pass. I'm shocked we got all those Persona games. Like, I really wish it wouldn't have got spoiled, because this was the first time I was actively not looking for spoilers, like, at all. But that one really just made its rounds across the internet. But that would have been huge. I think that would have been a bigger talking point if it didn't get spoiled.
Compared to how the Xbox shows are normally leaked, that's pretty.
Yeah, that was lightweight. Yeah, that was lightweight.
It's not like when Jason Schreier leaked Starfield.
Yeah.
It was like, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Like, we're 1 hour from the show and you leaked this. Cool.
And then it was the video and everything. It wasn't like it's gonna be. I remember that.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
It was.
And
I
didn't help because I watched it because I was like, it's Starfield.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah,
if someone tells you right now, pick a game has been leaked, we're all gonna go look at it. You can't help yourself.
Yeah.
You can't help yourself. You're going to spoil it for yourself. But as Hugger was going to the list of games, one game that stood out, I think that a little bit underrated, was Towerborn. Towerborn looks fan-freaking-tastic. From the same developers that did Banner Saga. It's going to be a game that's going to evolve over time and get better over time. It's going to have seasons. That game looks fantastic. It looks absolutely fantastic, and that's one I'm really looking forward to. But Paris, I want to ask you this question, because one thing that doesn't make sense to me, and I want you to help me make it make sense. Okay, I don't understand the black 1 terabyte Xbox Series S. I do not understand, because the way I see it, if you're looking for affordability, you have the OG Series S. If you're looking for power, you got the Xbox One X, Xbox Series X. I don't understand here is the S for $50 more, and it's in black. I get the SSD thing, I get it, but if someone is looking to save money, why not save yourself $50 and just delete your games you're not playing? But help me understand that, because I don't know.
No, I'm actually with you on this.
Delete games.
I had a conversation with somebody from Xbox. We were talking about this after the showcase, and I was just saying, I was like, yeah, wasn't feeling that one for everything that you were just talking about, because once you hit that 350 mark, at that point, why not just save another 150 and just go get the Series X, right? Mm-hmm. And to your point, I get why, because the SSD, like, technically, you are saving money, because if you were to buy the 512 expansion card to make your Series S 1 terabyte, it would cost you $30 more than that, because I think it's like $80 right now. So you're saving a little money in that respect, but it's still not a great value. Like, if this would have been, all right, we're introducing the 1 terabyte at $299, and we drop the price of the current Series S to $250, that makes sense. Now you're in. That makes 100 total sense to me. But this, unfortunately, okay, it's black. I get it's 1 terabyte, and there will be a market for it. There's going to be some people that'll go out and buy it. But I tell you right now, if I was a kid and Christmas come up and I opened the tree and I see the black Series S, I would look at my mom and be like, "You couldn't spend $100 just go get the Series X." That's what I would think personally. But yeah, so I get it, inflation, all that. I get why they probably can't lower the price right now. But when he said it, I was like, "Oh man, really?" If it was 300, no brainer. But at 350, not a fan.
And I get not copying your competition verbatim, but it would have made more sense to me. I still feel like you do the discless Series X and you market it at $399 and you compete with PlayStation because they have the exact same console. The only difference is the disc and $100, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to go, I want an all digital console. Why go up on the price with the Series S and not go down on the price with the Series X?
Yeah,
I say this because I don't believe it's true, but you always hear about the Series S having issues or the Series S. You hear it, you don't know if it's true or not, but the way I see it, I'm not saying you get rid of the S. There's still people who want that affordability factor. There's still people that want them a Game Pass box. They have a PC or they're mostly a PS5 gamer and they want to experience Game Pass, so they need an affordable box to do that. So I understand the Series S, why it exists. But a discless Series X makes more sense to me. I'm sorry, go ahead, B.
No, so with the Series S, can you plug in the expanded SSD in that bad boy or no? Or is it, you can?
Yeah.
I think a better deal would have been like sell a combo pack thing. Like, I don't know, like, hey, here's your SSD. We're trying to move these out on the market. Throw a game in there, couple codes. Like, make like I guess like a family pack thing. Remember they used to have that for the 360? They used to have the different brands of console, like, oh, this is for your shooter, this is for your kid family, and it would come with a couple games. And I think that would have been a good marketing.
I got it. You still do the black one. It's still 1 terabyte. You give me a year of Game Pass Ultimate along with it.
There you go.
Right.
No, serious. Make the value. Yeah.
Microsoft.
Yeah.
No, it sells itself. Serious.
Y'all
That's an
wanna
ultimate
see
Christmas. That's
something?
an ultimate holiday gift.
Oh, I can't make it bigger. That's what she said. I'm looking at the price of that 1 terabyte in Canada with protection, and the Starfield controller comes out to just under $600 here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They can keep that. I don't know
Yeah,
about that.
I'm not doing that.
I'm good.
I didn't even think about the insurance. I'm an insurance junkie, so I know. Oh yeah, with the insurance you would pay.
I would get insurance for that just because I don't trust it.
I'm an insurance junkie. I'm that guy who, protection plan. Yeah, $4.99. Throw it on there. Yeah, I'll take it.
I'm good. I just, again, I get it why you would do it. I just, and especially now that we hear that there might not be. I see my man's in the chat that there might not be the Series X Pro no time soon. I just don't get it. Shout out to Mandingo McDickens, my boy. Shout out to you, Mandingo, with the $5 super chat. He says the Xbox show was fire. Can't wait for SF. F the haters. Wait a minute. What's SF?
Starfield? Is he talking about Starfield?
Starfield.
I mean Starfield. Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing else. I mean, what else? What else is there?
I was like, man, SF slow moment. I apologize. The Xbox was fire.
I thought he was talking about Street Fighter at first.
F the haters. I was gonna say Street Fighter at first. I ain't gonna lie. I'm thinking Starfield will drop a 60 frames per second mode later on through. I'm playing it regardless. Day one, love Game Pass. That's a perfect way for us to shift over to Starfield into 30 frames per second, right? Because there's been a lot of discourse from a lot of different people. I've even seen Sony developers have to tweet out at YouTubers telling them, hey, this because it's the 30 frames per second, that does not mean this is an unfinished game. This was a design choice, right? And Mandingo, I'm with you. I do feel like at some point we're going to get a 60 FPS mode. But Paris, I'm gonna swing down to you. Starfield, 30 FPS. This was a design decision. We're looking at 4K 30 on the Series X. We're looking at 1440p 30 on the Series S. Your thoughts on Starfield not hitting that 60 frames per second threshold?
I mean, Of course, I was disappointed to hear that it wasn't going to be 60 on the console. I mean, it's just why. Yeah, of course, that's what you would want. But the way Todd Howard explained it, understand from just a presentation standpoint, they want the global illumination. They don't want all the pop in, all these things that he explained, that they made the creative decision to say, all right, we're locking this at 30 on console. It really comes down to this. This is the way I look at it. Either you accept it and you go play the game, because this is looking like what potentially could be a generation defining game, or you don't, and you go play any of the 1,000 other games that are coming out this year, right? It is what it is. Here's where it's different from Redfall for me. Redfall, you told me it was 60 until it wasn't. Yep. That was where the outrage came in, and that's where the disappointment came in for that. This one, it never promised that it was 30 or 60. So for Todd Howard, and no Todd Howard game has been 60. He's never done it. So it wasn't a shock. And he was on the Lex Friedman podcast months ago and basically hinted at this anyway. So for him to come out and deliver that message with Ryan McCaffrey in the IGN interview, I was like, okay, it's a bummer, but I get it. And I'm just going to keep it a buck. I'm playing it on PC anyways, so I will be playing it at over 60 frames. But I understand there will be times where I'm going to want to hop on the console and play. And yeah, it'd have been nice to have it at 60. And I understand the console-only players would want it at 60. I think this actually goes beyond just this game and Redfall and all this. This goes to the fact that when we were marketed these consoles, and this isn't just Xbox, it's PlayStation too. When they sold us on these next generation consoles, they told us 4K 60 was the standard. So that's why you're looking for these games to be at 60 frames. So when they're not, you're going to question it. And honestly, I take this way back to 2013 when they sold us on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Those should have been 1080p 60 boxes then. And that's why we got a PS4 Pro. That's why we got an Xbox One X. Because they were trying to fix the mistake of what they did back in 2013 with that hardware. And ironically enough, as we get into more of these true next-gen titles, Starfield, obviously, as ambitious as this is a true next-gen title. This won't be the last game that's 30 frames per second on these consoles. It's not. So you either got to wrap that around your head now and accept it, or you're setting yourself up for disappointment the rest of this generation, because this will not be the last game that's 30 frames. It's just not going to be. So it's going to be a great game. It looks very ambitious. And I tweeted this. Everybody that's fussing online and the YouTubers that are grifting right now, trying all this outrage online, you still going to play it?
Yep.
So accept it or move on to something else. And I'm not saying that in an arrogant way. It's just the truth of the matter. It is what it is at this point.
Mm-hmm. And I can 100 accept that we probably wouldn't. And I'm not a tech junkie or technical junkie, right? I leave that to the people who want to be that, right? I can respect that we probably wouldn't get the scope of a game that they want to give us on console.
Yeah.
At 60 frames per second. I can respect that, right? If you're telling me, hey, could we have done it? Yeah. But are we going to be able to give you all the things that we want to give you in this title at 60? No, because there has to be some type of compromise somewhere. Something has to go for us to be able to give you this game at 60 FPS. So, and if that's the case, I'm okay with that. B, as our resident Starfield lover, you're ready to take a bullet for Todd Howard.
I don't know about all that, but let's move. I got kids.
A virtual one. I'm sorry, but you're cool with this 30 FPS.
I got a strong feeling most people don't even have a TV to maximize everything that's offering now. I know
they have a 1080p TV, most of them.
But you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked, just like how most people don't have strong internet. I always go back to that. I'm sitting with older monitors. My TV is a little thicker than probably most people's. So for me, it wouldn't even be something I'd be able to completely maximize. That, and then I've never been the tech guy. If you guys go read any of the reviews that I've done in the past, I talk about like how it looks and how it feels, not the exacts, not the frame rates. Because for me, I'm more of the casual person when it comes to this. I'm not looking at the back of the box and seeing how many frames or how whatever it's presenting at. Like that's never ever been me. I've never had a frame rate monitor up when I'm PC gaming, so it's never been a make or break moment. But I will say I've turned off motion blur on a lot of games because it ruins the experience. But all in all, hearing that this is going to be 30, if Todd Howard is saying, hey, this is the most optimal way we can make this game for console, then I'm gonna just have to trust it, because we've seen the things that can happen with a Bethesda game. I mean, they've definitely got that nickname Bethesda for a reason. But if this is what it takes to give us a more polished overall experience, where you don't have whole buildings and whatever popping up randomly like old PUBG, then I'm for it. Like, bro, I've been killed by plenty of couches in PUBG. But
the key is though, the key is, if you're telling me this game has to run at 30, it needs to be 30. I don't want to get in this game and I got a lot of places where actors going and we're running, 20, 22 frames per second. That will be a major issue for me.
But that's what he was saying, though, right?
Yeah,
that's basically what he was saying. No, we're locking this. Like, it actually can do higher than 30, but I want the stability, so we're locking it at 30. So again, we'll find out when we have the controller in our hand. But if you take him for his word, that's basically what he's saying is your point.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my guy Mandingo again. Mandingo McDickens said, wasn't sure if that was Paris or Dirt's cousin from We Bleed Green. Who was Dirt's cousin from We Bleed Green?
Not all black people look alike, okay?
Hey. Regarding 60 FPS, go get a PC. Yeah, Paris had just mentioned that. He's going to play it on PC, right? The game is too massive to meet 4K lock 60 on these consoles. You got to remember, if I'm not mistaken, these consoles, the Series X and the PS5 are supposed to be comparable to a 2060,
which is like beyond, not even the recommended anymore. Like, you're starting to see 2080. You get what I'm saying? As the recommended, right? Yeah. Like,
and so if you are truly one of those, I can't play at 60. I buy the newest tech. I get the newest gear. And you're one of those. That means you probably have a 4080, 4090 sitting somewhere. Go play it on PC, because that's the beauty of Xbox is day one you're going to be able to play these games how you want to play them. You want to, if you okay with 30 or you can't afford a PC, you get an Xbox. If you have a PC and you have the hardware, because I believe the minimum is a 1070 Ti and the recommended is a 30. Correct me. I think it's a 3060 is the recommended.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
what for Starfield?
Yeah.
They already have the specs out?
Yeah, I'm like, I think I must have missed that one.
Yeah, I didn't see the specs for that. That's wild.
Look,
it's just so weird to have like kind of caught up to the recommended world for PC with my 2060 Super, but then to immediately like fall back down to like the lower 50%.
So the minimum requirements are it's a 1070 Ti, and the recommended is a RTX 2080 is the recommended.
Still under the biscuit.
i5 10600 and then 16 gigs of RAM. But yeah, the recommended is 2080. The minimum is a 1070 Ti.
I'm looking at it now. Yeah.
Watch me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Hugger's like, I bet my 980 my 980 Ti.
It may not be pretty, but it's gonna do it.
She gotta put a fan right on her whole PC, like just right there. Got liquid nitrogen flowing through it.
Coming out.
Yeah, right. You go get a block of ice from the grocery store when she wanna run.
Yep.
You're gonna kill your PC one day, Hugger. You're going to kill that PC.
One day.
It's actually a good series. What'll break it?
If it
that's our series. What will break Hugger's PC?
I would watch
it.
It
wasn't Wood.
Yeah. But serious though, like I've always been of the mind that most people don't have the tech that's required to max out or even get close to the max of what's out there. Most people don't even have the internet to run a lot of this stuff. I mean, heck, you're still running into Wi-Fi fights on Street Fighter. Like it just,
it's true.
like this is the world we live in, right? Yeah, TVs are cheap, but still most people don't have the best that's out there. So I'm not that guy.
Oh yeah, God Emperor, the SSD is. You have to put this on the SSD.
Yeah.
That is.
Oh,
required
see, that's
for
different.
I've
That's
never heard of that
different.
before. I've never heard of a game like it. It has to be on an SSD.
Hey,
Well,
could
hey,
you
it's next gen. We're
See?
moving forward.
That's what I'm saying. Like that is the first sign of the real, like, oh, you need to have a new console. Man, I like that. I like that. Like, what is the game that's gonna force me, right? Like, well, now that I have the PS5 and the Series X, it's like, what would be that game to force me? Like, no, if I want to play this and I want to enjoy it on my TV and not have my office turn into a sauna with my PC, what is that game that's gonna, and these are starting to look like the titles. Like we're getting there. And of course, Starfield.
You know what? And
Quiet.
just because it's on PC doesn't mean that the increased frame rate is necessarily going to be a good thing. Remember when Fallout 76 first came out and they had uncapped frame rate and your movement speed was tied to your frame rate, so people were just zipping across the maps and sniping people?
That sounds fun.
I'm actually interested to see if because Redfall partnered with Nvidia, if Starfield, Bethesda also does that with Starfield, partners with Nvidia, so it'll have DLSS 3, because that'll obviously help on the PC side for frame rate and things like that. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, yeah, those specs just look like obviously bare bones, but I would imagine they're gonna have more information here pretty soon on how all that works.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Hopefully it's
I
gonna
just
put a lot of PCs through its paces, but I think it's gonna be. You're gonna get so lost in the world that you're gonna, in the immersion of it, that most people aren't gonna be like, oh, that frame rate dip there. But I also just went to Pleasure Town and then I boarded somebody's ship. I think people are gonna be too caught up in what they're doing. If your enjoyment of the game comes down to this spec or this spec, baby, you ain't in the game for enjoying it. You were in there to just come in and start tearing apart. You were digital foundrying it without the digital foundry money. Don't do that.
Man, don't even get paid.
The discourse around this frame rate will die when the game releases.
No, but that's why I was even saying before, a lot of this is just people grifting and, looking for attention online, pretending to be overly outraged over this. At the end of the day, you still everybody that's doing all that still playing the game, and listen, let's keep it a buck again. All of us were playing at 30 frames on console just a few years ago anyways, before these consoles came out. So it's not like we've never done this before. They act like all of a sudden they're asking us to play at 10 frames per second. So it'll be fine. Ultimately, Starfield's going to be fine. If all this extra time, this extra year of polishing, I don't know if you even heard Sarah Bond and Todd Howard talking about this over the weekend, but Microsoft had their advanced technology team embedded with Bethesda the past 18 months working on Starfield. Polishing, and I think Matt Booty even said basically they got damn near every QA person at Xbox right now going through that game because that's how important it is. So, and what did Matt Booty said? It is the however you want to phrase it, the most bug free Bethesda game ever right now, and they still got a few months to go. So. Look, and we'll see in September. This could all just be lip service, and in September it's chaos. But if you go by what they're saying, I mean, we're in for something special. We just are. So, we'll see on September 1st if you got early access.
And
we know Baron.
I'll be at PAX West. Look,
you're going to be at PAX West when it drops.
Yeah.
I already thought about that.
Yeah. It hurt when I seen the announcement. I was like, I'll be at PAX West.
Yeah.
I'll be at PAX. And I'm gonna just tell you now, Fame. I'm gonna say it here in front of everybody, just so there's no misunderstanding. The amount of production that's gonna come out of PAX West trip is gonna be very low, and you'll see a lot of pictures, you'll see a lot of posts, a lot of TikToks.
But you're networking. You're networking for love.
I'll network. Oh, I'm a network my life away.
You network.
Promise you articles and videos. It's gonna be minimal unless it's Starfield related.
It's networking. We're good. We're still a growing brand. But I want to give a shout out to Dragon Heart Yoba, who's a big supporter level on the $20 super chat. Says, question for the panel: Do you ever think in the future we would get a console/PC hybrid with interchangeable parts? Hashtag peace, love, life, level 1 gaming, love y'all. Dragonheart Yobi, I appreciate you. Now, I remember rumors from a while back about a modular console being a possibility. It's around the time where we had that modular phone that was being made, but then I think Samsung, somebody bought them out and they decided to throw that away because that's too user friendly for them to be able to check out the price they need. Questions for the panel. So I'm gonna go around the panel. Paris, do you think at some point we could possibly see to where my Xbox is almost like a PC where I can open it up and take out and put back in? Do you see some type of modular thing ever coming to console?
I'm going to say no, because I think the whole point of a console is its simplicity of just plug and play and you're good to go. Again, I always use my wife as the example. I can't even imagine her having to swap out something. She'd be like, where the hell did this go? And this got lost over here. I don't think they would want to take a risk with that, not with a mainstream console, not something from Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Maybe somebody else would want to come and try something unique in that, but I don't think so. So I'm gonna say no.
What about you, Hugs? You ever see a interchangeable console in our future?
No, but we always had plug and play things you can take in and out of consoles, like adding extra memory, stacking 2 consoles together and plugging them in, and like add-ons you could do through the GameCube. So it's always kind of been there, but in the way that
like
Yogi's
64, you can put like a million different parts in the 64 and stack and put it together. It was great. And the GameCube too was wild. How many accessories you can add to that thing?
Always been able to do it, but in like a PC sense, I mean,
even the Sega.
PlayStation kind of did it when they made people change their SSDs, but the way like how I'm
using screwdrivers,
the way I'm gonna go and swap my parts out, no, I don't think we'll ever see that. That, like Paris said, that's too complex, and these are about simplicity. And I love everybody, but some people don't know to ground yourself before you swap out parts and are gonna be pissed when they fry their console.
Right, exactly.
Bro.
They're gonna lose.
Or even how hard you have to press in your RAM.
That
thud, and if you have a glass case and you hear that reverb, that thud, I thought I broke everything when I was when I was slapping in my RAM. I thought I broke everything. But were you done, Hugger? I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna be.
Okay. Fame, can I go now? Can I go?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Fame. But no, seriously, I think what'll happen is, along with Hugger was saying, we'll get like a super minimalist version system in the future, and they'll sell us all the things we want in parts. Like, I think you'll have an external disk drive, and it'll be a fully digital system with a bunch of HDMIs and USB ports. Like, I think that's more of the future. So then that'll be the closest we get to a computer, where it'll still be a console that only plays whatever console games are out at that time. But you'll be able to just, I want to go physical. Well, here's the physical edition. It'll be like Apple inspired it. Like, we won't sell a physical version, but here's the disc drive for those who can't let go of the nostalgia. I think it'll go that route before it'll go full on. Let's
be honest as well. I'm more willing to just buy a console and like let the cousins and stuff come over and play it, and I can take the shells off and show them the insides, but I don't have to change anything. I'm not letting my cousins anywhere near my PC or to touch
I didn't
anything
even think of
inside
that.
You got games on your phone?
No.
Hey,
You got games on your phone?
Hey, B, you said you're going to be at PAX West and the content will be minimum, right? If you do some content, it needs to be with Grown Woman Gaming. Delilah HD is in the chat with the Delilah Super Chat. Thank you, Delilah HD from Grown Woman Gaming. If you do content out there, it needs to be with the Grown Woman Gaming crew because they do incredible work. Also, podcast going live every Saturday. Make sure you guys check them out because they are doing spectacular work. Get them their flowers.
Yeah, seriously.
Give them their flowers. Shout out to you, Delilah. I appreciate you with the $10 super chat. Now, I want to swing things over really quickly because I don't want to hold up too much everyone. Right? I got 2 things I want to go over. One, I want to look at this E3 season as I know I'm calling it E3 season. No, E3 is dead. To me, this is E3 season, right? Yeah. I want to look at it as a whole, right? We're looking at the PlayStation Showcase, Ubisoft, Capcom, Xbox, right? And the format that it's in. Do we feel this year was a successful E3 season from what we got from the presentations as a whole? I'm gonna start with you, B.
Yes. This was a big win. Shout out to Ubisoft for bringing back the full essence of E3. That like I didn't think I'd be nostalgic for a full E3 feeling thing, and that it had the music, it had the on-stage awkwardness, it had but then it had games and gameplay.
Ubisoft killed it.
Underrated showcase. Bro, that like out honestly, it goes Xbox and then Ubisoft in my opinion. Like
Which is
seriously,
weird to hear.
Weird. I feel weird every time I say it. That Ubisoft showcase. If you in the chat missed it because you thought, oh, it's Ubisoft, just gonna be another Assassin's Creed, whatever. No, they didn't even have Splinter Cell anywhere near it, and it still was a great showcase. They were bold behind Avatar, the Frontiers or something. I'm excited for that. I did not think I'd be excited at all for an Avatar game. And then of course Prince of Persia was dope. And then
hip hop music that people didn't like.
Oh, come on, man. Like, I didn't care about that. Like, bro, I was still mad we didn't get 21 Savage in Mortal Kombat. But no, I really thought this was a good overall season. The Summer Games Fest, me being there in person, I wish they would have made it feel more like you were at Summer Games Fest.
But
I will say that was dope as hell. I lost it. I wish you would have made a face-off reference, but I totally lost it when Nick Cage came out. I thought that was cool as hell, but it didn't. Outside of being in the actual showcase and then seeing everybody in the industry, I felt like that was the thing missing. Was that feel like it should have been a lot more like it just outside of what you guys saw on camera. I promise you wouldn't know you were at Summer Games Fest. But overall, this was pretty solid. Capcom could have definitely been an email, but this was solid.
Listen, Dragonheart Yobi, I appreciate the support, brother. He says, special shout out to Paris. Keep up the great work in the community, my man. We see you, the good work you're doing out here. Man, you must be protected at all costs. Peace, love, life to you, King Paris, aka Mr. Flight Simulator.
Oh yeah, can we give you your flowers on that? Because that was so badass. Like, no, I hope this thing keeps going forever. I hope anytime there's an update at a showcase, you're a part of it, because that is so dope. And then how often do we get to see folks that look like us doing these type of things? And I just please keep. I hope you forever get to keep going with that. That is the dopest thing ever. And then hopefully you get a cameo in some like flight movie. Like I hope that's what it leads to. No, serious. Like, because you know how these things randomly lead to stuff. I hope that's what the next, like, serious.
Heck yeah.
No, I appreciate that, and shout out to Jorg Newman. He's been amazing, bringing me in to be a part of those updates for Flight Simulator, and obviously just Xbox and just all the stuff that I've been able to do with them over the past few years with the showcase. Like, it dawned on me that in that extended, I was basically, other than obviously Keanu Reeves was in there, I was the only non-Xbox person that was a part of that showcase, you know, which is just crazy to think. But yeah, I mean, I literally went to the other side of the world and went to Budapest to film all that stuff a few weeks back. Matter of fact, remember when you were messaging me about coming on? I was like, oh yeah, I was like, I gotta go do something.
NBA stuff,
yeah. But yeah, it was it was a cool experience. We had a lot of fun. The only thing is, and I do have it. I got it right here. I got the jacket. People looking.
My man.
Yeah, it's cock can't
That's
cook.
Beautiful.
Man, it was hot as hell. It was so humid in Budapest. We were doing that like mid afternoon, because there was even stuff that didn't make it into the final thing. I shot a whole bunch of stuff. Like, we went all over Budapest shooting different things, and I was burned up every take. Every time they were like, cut, I'm just ripping the jacket off, taking it off, because I was on fire. But it was fun, very fun experience.
one thing I loved about it the most, and I love about that jacket, right? And I believe it was Kyle who actually tweeted it out. What you're doing, being in that space again, like Baron said, someone who looks like us, right? I see you. I see us when I see you, right? You look like us, and for you to be able to give a nod to someone else that also looks like us, and have his name be known as seen. There it
Yes.
is.
Yes.
That's amazing, right?
No, this is my dope. This is my prized possession. Is this controller for the very reason of everything that you're talking about, because it is like, when I hosted Extended, back in 2021, and and I did that. It was, because I got love for Ka, and that's just like a little joke that we have. And again, Xbox was super dope about allowing me to literally roast my friend in front of the entire world twice. Now it was supposed to be 3 times. I was supposed to do it last year too, and I won't even spoil what it was, but something didn't arrive in time. But if I get to do it again, it's on the table. But that's the whole point, just showing him love by that. And that's why, like, even with the Ka can't cook on the patch, we purposely were like, not going to draw any attention to it. It's just there, and let's see who picks up on it. You know what I mean? But that's the whole point.
Pretty quick by the community.
No, I know that was funny. That was so funny. But it was
that's beautiful, man. Because the beauty of that, you're on a grand stage, and somebody's gonna say, "Who is Kai?" Right?
Yeah.
That's gonna funnel. That's amazing.
Right.
Like that's the stuff I love to see from the community. It's like, hey, I made it to. I'm making my way up to this building. I mean, I made it to the top, but making my way up. But by the way, here's a ladder, right?
Yeah, exactly.
To come up here with me, and that's the beauty of what you did. And I want to make sure I give you flowers for that, because that was amazing, dude.
Well, and just a side note on that, it literally made it into a video game. It's in the Dead Space remake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never forget that one, because not that it was bad that it got spoiled for me, but during the review process, someone messaged me. They were like, "Have you seen this?" And they sent it to them. I was like, "Oh my God," I couldn't believe it. But the fact that it's in a video game, the fact that we've been able to do this, at the Xbox showcase a few different years, and even just this week, and other events and stuff, everybody it's brought up to me every time. Someone brings it up. Someone brings it up to Ka. Matter of fact, I was randomly in a Best Buy one time, and someone recognized me and came up to me, and they brought it up. You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
that's awesome.
That's what's so dope about it. And I'll say one last thing, I'll be quiet on it. But there's not enough of us doing this.
Yeah.
Right. And to be able to spotlight a good friend of mine, to be able to try and help other people, because trust me, it's not about me. It's about all of us having more opportunities. Like I was on the Giant Bomb couch. What night was that? Friday night, I think. Thursday, whatever damn night is, a blur. But I was on there, with the Kind of Funny crew, and Jason Schreier was with us, and that was the conversation that wound up having, because the one thing about Summer Game Fest, it was pointed out that there were no women on stage, right? And that became a thing. So we were talking about that, and then that turned into, I was like, look, I can only speak to you as a Black man because I'm not a woman, and as a Black man, trust me, there's not enough of us that get opportunities. And I was bringing up the point, like, whenever I'm at an event and I see another Black person, and I know y'all know this, it's like, what do? Give them the head nod.
Yep.
Give them the head nod. You because we're like unicorns. There's not enough of us in this industry. And I was talking about how, we celebrate Sarah Bond being in the position that she's in as a Black woman, and for all intents and purposes being like the number 2 or number 3 executive, at Xbox right now. It was amazing being in that thing I was in after Showcase, because she was with Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, and Todd Howard. And we're going down the list of all her responsibilities at Xbox. Like I mentioned, her team is responsible for that advanced technology team. She's also running the cloud initiative. She's also doing all the partnerships and everything that you see at Game Pass. That's all her team. That's her. You see what I'm saying? And that's inspiring to see. We need more Sarah Bonds in this industry, in those leadership positions, making those kind of decisions to integrate more of us. Like, we're talking about that South of Midnight. Right? What was the best thing about the South of Midnight? Not only is it a Black woman, but it's also celebrating Southern Black culture.
Yep.
When you see that, you don't see that in video games.
You don't see it nowhere in gaming.
Exactly. So we need more of that. So if I don't know if I can cuss on here, but my dumb ass can go out there and run around in Budapest on a boat with a jacket that says "Car can't cook," and that's going to help other Black people in this industry, I'm going to do it 10 out of 10 times. You know what I mean? So we just need more of that. And I don't have the solution other than we just got to keep pushing. That's all we can do. Sorry, I went on a rant.
No. And shout out to Jeff Grubb, because he definitely went out of his way to make sure that he had a complete diverse. I mean, I was on the couch, and then it's funny. The next day, Phil Spencer was sitting in the spot where I was sitting. And then I told my wife, I was like, you got to understand, like, this is huge. Like, this means something to me.
This
like,
means something to me.
No, and it just, and then even just seeing Ronnie over at 8-Bit Close Fist, and just seeing people from all aspects who are just different. Yeah. And they curated such an awesome show. Shout out to Jeff, man. He did seriously.
Wow, with them heavy. Listen, we got one thing I want to get on before I let everybody go. I know we're a little bit over our time, and I apologize. Shout out to the chat. If you guys can hear my voice, hit that like button. It really helps us out a whole bunch. But I do want to swing things over because it was announced that and I have all my stuff lined up here, and I lost it.
Of course.
Don't mind me. Don't mind
well,
me.
Folks,
all my numbers up here. There it is. Here it is. Okay, because one of the most underrated studios has now signed a deal with Xbox. People Can Fly. They did a game that I drug Baron to, Outriders. The Outriders I thought was a fantastic game. Bulletstorm I thought was super underrated. They did assist on Gears of War. I think they did Gears of War Judgment, which is the one a lot of people didn't like. I didn't think it was that bad as everybody made it out to be, right? But Microsoft is a project with them is going to be Project Maverick. B, as someone who I know like myself who played a lot of Outriders, expectations or excitement for them creating a game with Xbox. They make good games.
Well, they can do a good cover shooter. Outriders was fun. I guess they just. I don't know if it was the thing with Square Enix. I don't know exactly how that played out and why it went the way it did. Because as you guys know, I got drug all over the mud through Reddit.
They killed you on Reddit for your Outriders.
But I was right. I was right about it all. I was like, this game needed the Game Pass stimulus package. This game needs to be a games as a service. It needs the seasons. It needs to keep it going. And then they were like. Yeah, it needed that type of content because people were like, well, what, you don't want a complete game? And I'm like, no, but beside the point, going back to People Can Fly, as long, maybe we get a new Gears. I don't know. Like they have the spirit there. Like maybe it could be an offshoot. Maybe it can be a whole another unit. Like that would be a dope way to kind of fill that gap. Or maybe they're going to be working on that Marcus Phoenix collection. I don't know. But it just you don't know.
That's actually a small. I was thinking the opposite. I was thinking the opposite.
What I'm saying.
Yeah.
What was it again? I lost my.
It was like 30 or 35
million.
That would be enough. Look, I'm just saying. With that, you could upgrade all the Gears of War and that team.
Can I say something though?
Go for it.
If you want a Gears of War collection, subscribe to Game Pass. It's already there. It's a complete waste of time to do the Gears collection. We don't need it.
Here come hunger.
I've
been
Game
Pass though.
This is true. It's not all on PC Game Pass. But that could be why they would, being serious for a second, that could be why would do it, because now you can bring it to PC and you can expand the whole thing. I get it. I'm just like, man, do we really need the collection though? I don't know. But that's just me being selfish.
The way I see it, Paris, I think everyone who would have played the Gears of War games on Xbox have already played it. I think this is for another crowd. I think it's the crowd for Hunger.
And you could be right. It's just like they did
Gears 1 and Gears 5.
Right, like The Last of Us Part 1. Like, I'm like, why are you doing this again? But you're doing that because you're trying to get another audience. I get
Master Chief Collection. Exact same thing.
and how well did that go?
Oh, I'm
PC
on Halo too.
Yeah.
It's doing good on
I-
PC. Everywhere else though.
Yeah, now it is. It took a hot
Like-
minute, but now it is. Yeah.
But
It-
do you guys really believe it's going to be a fresh new IP? I'm not, maybe for me, I don't think so. I could see them coming in because I really do believe it's going to be Gears of War.
It may not be something majorly AAA, but I think it'll be something different. To me, it doesn't make sense to have this type of deal. If you're gonna get someone to come in and just kind of remaster, Gears or whatever, I don't think it'll be of this size. I think People Can Fly. It's an established. It's not like what's the studio that PlayStation has that's doing their PC.
Nixus.
Nexus, right? You go and get a Nexus size studio to go do a remake of your games, right? I think People Can Fly, who is an established developer that makes new games, that makes new IPs. I don't think you make a deal with them for something that you would put off to a studio like Nexus to remake a game for you. That's why I think it's something
right, or like an Iron Galaxy is another one that would do something like that. 100%. But to your point, I think when I looked at this, obviously immediately you're thinking Gears because that's the connection. But yeah, I would, even if it's not a AAA, because I look at that budget, that could be AAA, but seems kind of small for AAA these days. Just maybe it's a smaller experience that they can get out within a few year period, right? And again, something else Xbox can say, hey, exclusive on Game Pass, add to the portfolio kind of thing.
No, 100%. I can see it falling along the lines of the game that NXL is making. It's not necessarily super big, but it looks great.
Oh, I disagree with you on that. I think what NXL is doing looks like a big AAA game.
Not NXL. The other game.
What, Compulsion?
I'm sorry.
What from Compulsion?
The Compulsion game. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's out to midnight. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a huge big AAA game. No.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me on that. Because that NXL game is going to be that BioShock. That's going to be big, right? But the Compulsion game is going to be somewhere around the AA sphere. I can see this being, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Give me my 6 to 8 hour experience and send me on my way. That's not a bad thing.
100%. Like I just finished up Planet of Lana a couple weeks ago. I mean, that's just a AA game. I mean, it took like 5 hours. Ravenlock was another one. I think it was like 5 hours to play.
Yep.
Yeah, trust me, there's a place in this industry for those games. Even Hi-Fi Rush isn't that long, and that's really like a AA game. That's not AAA.
It very successful. I mean, it scored high. You can see more of these titles coming to Game Pass because, of course, the subscription needs a new feed of good quality games coming over and over again. So that's dope. But listen,
can I add one thing in there? And I'm sorry to jump in that because speaking along those lines, I played 33 Immortals at the showcase. It's co-op Hades. It's Hades with 32 of your best friends. That's what that game is. That's going to be dope. Like I'm sure you saw Phil Spencer playing it at the extended. That game is fun as hell. That's going to be good, really good. And that's the team that made Spiritfarer. I'm blanking on the developer's name right now, but Wish. Yeah, I'm screwing it up. But the point is co-op Hades. That's what it is. Is going to be good.
That's what I want.
No, that game, 33 player co-op. That's insanity.
Yeah.
That's insanity. But listen, we got one more thing. Even somebody in the chat is saying that they need to talk to your people to get Killer Instinct back.
You trying to get me in trouble? I have nothing, no words for Killer Instinct other than praise. That's the only thing I will say for the rest of my life.
Oh god, that was crazy.
Listen, we gotta get out of here, but it's one thing I'm gonna go around the panel. I gotta ask, Hugger, give me a name of a game that you're playing this week that you recommend people need to go out and check out before we get out of here.
Before we do that, don't forget, yesterday we covered the Dames for Games, and Baron and Fame's little babies was in there looking cute.
Yeah, it was awesome to see our children on IGN. That was.
I cried a little bit.
I cried a little bit too.
That felt really good.
But again,
proud dad moment.
Going through Outriders actually right now, trying to finish it because I had to put Redfall down. I'm like, I can't.
Listen, you need some help with Outriders. I'll reinstall it. Baron won't, but I will. Because there's a wall in Outriders. Baron, you know it. There's a wall that you cannot get past.
You need somebody to drag
without
you.
Somebody else, right? So
Okay.
It's
haven't hit that
weird.
yet.
It's so weird.
When you hit that wall, let us know. Me and Baron bring in our souped up characters. We'll help
And
you
there's
out.
the DLC too that you guys never got to play. World Eater, I think.
Oh,
Yeah. Look at
You
Baron.
did play it.
You played it?
no,
You
let's
played it.
continue, guys. Let's keep going. Why are we
Wow.
stalling?
This is like Diablo all over again. Just roles reversed.
Wow.
I wasn't playing that on the clock. Let's keep going. Let's keep
Wow. B, before we get out of here, your game people need to be playing this week.
going. You know what? If you have a PS5, go play the Final Fantasy demo. I haven't played it yet because I need to be mentally ready to stream it because I want to stream the entire experience and capture that and edit and do some other stuff with it. But that and then go play Diablo 4. Shout out to Grown Women Gaming. I ended up winning their giveaway, and that's the only reason I'm even playing it because I would have just been sitting back outside the club hating.
Okay, but you got in, so congratulations to you. And we need to finish up this next chapter. Paris, our guest of the evening, again, I appreciate you coming out and rocking with us. What is a game that you're currently playing that you think people need to pop inside their console and check out?
Yeah, I actually just said it. Planet of Lana. It's fantastic. Like I said, AA indie game. It's on Game Pass right now, so you can check it out there. But it's on PC and all that too. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's a side scroller environmental puzzler. The artwork in this game is just drop dead gorgeous. The music in it is phenomenal as well. And this is first time game. I'm being bad on names with studios right now, but the developer, this is their first game. And I believe they're out of either Norway or Sweden, if I remember correctly. But really, really good game. Definitely check that out.
Listen, we're going to get up out of here. Paris, again, thank you for taking time out of your day. I know we went over our time just a little bit. I appreciate you being
No,
able
it's
to
all
stay and
good,
rock
man.
with
No,
us,
thank
man.
you. No, thank
I
you for having
appreciate
me. It's been
Again,
far too long
everything
since
you're
I've been
doing
on.
out there,
Appreciate it.
Everything you're doing out there is we see it and we appreciate it. Just keep doing your thing because we need people in that space that's looking behind them and leaving their door cracked. We appreciate that 100%, man, and keep doing your thing. For everybody who came out today and rocked with us, I appreciate you guys. Sheba Army Brat, that's a new name in the chat. I appreciate you rocking with us. Delilah HD from Grown Women Gaming. Make sure you guys go check out Grown Women Gaming. It's a dope podcast they do every single Saturday morning. That's how you get your day started when you're cleaning your house up. If your mama telling you your room is dirty, you need to be listening to Grown Women Gaming as you're cleaning that room. Shout out to Dragon Heart Yobi, Mini Yeti who made us return back today. I appreciate you guys rocking with us once again. Don't forget to get your gaming news and reviews from LV1Gaming.com. We always have a bunch of content up, a bunch of reviews going up. B, something
Much love, Iron Lords. Really appreciate you guys.
Much love to the Iron Lords, 100%. We're gonna get up out of here. With all that said, congratulations, you guys leveled up to 249. Is what's the WSP podcast. If you missed Cogs in the Machine yesterday with Bordy McBoard making a debut, go watch Hugger and Bordy McBoard on Cogs in the Machine. We'll be back next week. Peace.
Bye.